was allowed. It was above board. But in retrospect, certainly, as I look back at it now, even though it was allowed, I should have used two accounts, one for personal, one for work-related emails. That was a mistake. I'm sorry about that. I take responsibility.
Did they cut out the part where she said to David, okay, are you happy now?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, she tried again on the Ellen show.
I bet that was better.
Yeah, that's going to air on Thursday.
Yeah.
But here's a look.
Let's talk about the emails. Okay. What? Well, I want people to understand this, so I'm glad you asked. I used a personal email account. It was allowed by the State Department, but I should have used two different accounts. I made a mistake, and I'm sorry for all the confusion that has ensued. I take responsibility for that.
I'm sorry. I gotta say, it read a lot better in the Washington Post breaking news alert. She says it with the flattest of effect, as if, I don't know.
Maybe her Facebook page. She posted an apology on social media late last night.
I mean, we're not being difficult. It's flat. It's
writing on her Facebook page that she made a mistake by using only a private email, that she, quote, could have and should have done a better job answering questions earlier. I don't know. She keeps saying it was allowed and allowed and allowed and allowed and allowed and allowed and allowed. John Heilman, was it allowed?
First of all, she apologized. It's obviously pushed to the edge of a cliff to apologize. And
kicking and screaming.
Which, if you're drag kicking and screaming, but you apologize finally, that's fine. Yes. But here, I don't know. Well, maybe we're just being too tough on Hillary Clinton.
We're being snarky.
Maybe we're being snarky. It sounds like it was the flattest.
You just start worried about the tone of the apology?
Well, what do you think, Willie? Like, do you feel like, oh, God, I get it now.
I knew we were going to get here eventually. I think she was obviously pushed in this direction.
Yeah. On second thought, I'm sorry.
But I'm more with you, less about her tone than with the allowed and the semantic game about what was legal and what was allowed. There was a State Department policy 9 months into her term that said it was not allowed. Everything had to be captured on State Department servers, and all her emails were not captured on State Department servers.
So it was not allowed?
It is certainly not allowed.
John Heilman, was it allowed?
9 months in, the Obama administration said, like Willie said, all emails had to be captured on the State Department server.
Thank you for reporting the honest truth and nothing.
I feel like we've said this now like 100 times. So
but Hillary Clinton has said 400 times.
She's continuing to argue that she was allowed to have a personal email account. She was allowed to have a personal email account. The way in which she managed it was not allowed by the standards of the administration.
For national security reasons, correct?
Yes, and again, I think that, I think that point's kind of now beyond dispute. To me, what's interesting about this are two things. One, if you think about the tone point, look, she did what everybody wanted her to do. She's finally apologized. If you look at the tone that she had when she told the Snapchat joke, right? You think about the verb with which she told it. Like that was from the heart.
Right.
There was like this sarcastic and kind of dismissive, but it was real. You know, when she told that joke, she enjoyed telling that joke. With David Muir yesterday, she did not enjoy apologizing.
Yeah.
The other thing is
the
other thing is that the point that she's now gotten to does suggest that everything that she has said previously about the fact that no one's paying attention, it hasn't affected my campaign, none of this has mattered, no one cares, that has all been a lie. Because the truth is that if no one was paying attention and their focus groups weren't telling what they were telling them and the polling wasn't showing what it's showing, she would never have done what she did yesterday. Yesterday was an admission that, yes, in fact, people are paying attention. It is affecting her standing with Democrats. It is affecting her standing with the country. They are hearing that it's a problem for her. She needed to do this yesterday.
And by the way, guess what? Guess what? She's taken a little bit further down the road, and people are saying that we're nitpicking, actually don't understand politics. Tone does matter.
Heart matters.
And, you know, Mike, between you and me, we have more children than a lot of small countries. We know when our children are forced to apologize, and we know when they mean it. We know when they don't mean it. Like, tone does matter. Why does it matter? Because you get an understanding of whether the person gets what they did was wrong, or to our significant others, saying that we're sorry. There's a BS detector that tells our significant others, we're saying we're sorry, but we don't really mean it.
Yeah, my wife always knows that. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just, well, you don't mean that.
You're just saying you're sorry. But here, again, it's almost as if, and this is the point, and listen to just the end of it. We're not going to play it again, but at home, listen to the end of it. It's almost as if she purposefully said it as quickly and as flatly and as
unwillingly
as humanly possible.
Well, like us, quite often, you say you're sorry when you get yourself in a difficult situation with your spouse, hoping that the apology will make the issue go away. I'm sure that that's what she hopes, but that's not going to happen. The issue is not going to go away because the issue is larger than the email now. The issue is being drawn to these apologies. The issue is the whole 20, 25 years of luggage that the Clintons bring to each day with each issue.
It's also the hearings coming up, and quite frankly, on Capitol Hill, there's a big push to get this Mr. Pagliano to change his decision on pleading the fifth, the guy who set up the server, the tech guy, because they want to hear from him, and he doesn't want to talk, which,
I don't blame
again,
him.
you don't blame
who blames him? And by the way, again, this is very simple. Now she's taken it one step further down the road. Now you apologize and sound sincere.
Yeah,
that's a good.
Thank you,
the next
campaign.
Step. All right.
So Clinton also spoke about rebuilding trust with the American people and choked up while talking about her mother.
I cherish and love this country. It gave me, opportunities far beyond anything my mother or my father could have had. She told me every day, you've got to get up and fight for what you believe in, no matter how hard it is. And I think about her a lot. I miss her a lot. I wish she were here with me. And I remember that. And I don't want to just fight for me. I can have a perfectly fine life not being president. I'm going to fight for all the people like my mother who need somebody in their corner. And they need a leader who cares about them again. So that's what I'm going to try to do.
Besides the heart, Clinton is also bringing humor to her campaign. This is something the campaign said they'd be showing more of. She started with dancing on Ellen and to Beyonce and Jay-Z's music. The full interview airs on Thursday. Clinton also announced she will be appearing on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon next week on the night of the Republicans' second debate. But President Obama's former senior advisor, David Axelrod, tweeted this, quote, today's New York Times story on HRC reads more like The Onion. Her detailed plan to show more authenticity and spontaneity, hashtag just do it.
Some of these clips, Willie, look like they're out of the latest season of Veep. They really do. They look like they're out of the latest season of Veep, down to the dancing, everything. You can make this up because the producers of Veep made this up.
To be clear, the dance she was doing was the Whip Nene dance.
Yes.
Thank you.
My children do that.
Jay-Z, Beyonce, yeah. Well, also, especially when it comes on the very same day that there was a front page story in the New York Times that said we're going to show more humor and heart, and then that day you see more humor and heart. So it looks a little scripted. Obviously, when she's talking about her mother, that's sincere, and everyone knows that is.
Of course it is.
But it just looks a little choreographed.
So here's the question. When does Bill Clinton become really involved in this campaign?
Very
Tomorrow.
Soon. Desperately.
You think so?
Soon.
Yeah. That's
if not already.
Look.
Yeah. What this whole thing is reminiscent of, and I don't know if you all have long enough memories, I'm sure you do, but back in December of 2007, when she was in huge trouble in Iowa, just coming into the Iowa caucuses, in the middle of that month, the campaign went to the New York Times and said that Hillary was going to go around Iowa and go on what they called a likability tour. And she was going to fly around Iowa to demonstrate to the people of Iowa that she was likable. And it was one of the most ham-handed things